Okay, cool.
Take it
I'm
away.
glad. I'm glad you didn't get that on tape. She would have held it against me. Anyway, everyone say hello to Jacopo. They're in Naples, Italy, but he's got the San Francisco Bridge. What's that about? That's very confusing, Jacopo. What are you doing? Well, why don't you have Naples behind you?
Yeah, because like I know you love. I love traveling, and I want to stay right now in my mind in San Francisco.
Let your papa say hello this morning. Tell your papa to tell us something in Italian. Good morning. Hello.
Ciao, buongiorno.
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 Morning.
Good to see you over there running that big jewelry business of Jacopo. What a great family, folks. I've just been very honored and privileged to work with them. It's been fantastic. All right, cool. Listen, let me tell you something. You're in for a treat today. You're in for a treat today, and it's because of all of you, what you've been doing to me the last 3 years, torturing me. I mean, helping me learn and helping me, really help my mindset, my will set, my skill set. You're a tough group, I have to tell you. But the tougher you get, the better I get. So in a tough group in a good way. I'm saying that in a good way, right? But as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens the other. We're all students and teachers of one another. And one of the toughest challenges I have as a business leader, as a, running a brokerage team, as a independent coach and consultant to other people outside of my brokerage, the toughest job I have is getting people to realize there's no difference in any of us, right? Is that we're all students and teachers of one another. And they approach me as if I'm a teacher, and we're really all learners. And that once we get that attitude, you're gonna be hearing a lot about that today. So anyway, with that, let me start out this way. Chris Dove posted something on Facebook or Instagram, and it was in fun a little bit. Chris, tell us about that post, or if you could quickly grab it off your screen, share it with us. Can you grab that? Was that TikTok or Instagram?
It was TikTok. Yeah,
TikTok.
it was.
Can you open that up? Can you open that up on your computer quickly? You think?
I don't
know
if I'm signed in on my computer. I'm
anyway,
sorry.
Just tell us about it. Just tell us about it.
Yeah, so there is some, the trending audio that goes around, and I used it because you guys know I was trying to take a vacation before the end of the year. Then I got deals on my plate and decided that'd be best for me to stay home. So kind of went through a bit of a burnout phase, and I was like, oh, the reason I'm on burnout for 2 months is I'm the problem. I won't take a vacation because I'm a control freak. So that was kind of the gist of it.
Yeah. So anyway, what was interesting when I saw that, I have a few people in my immediate brokerage group, but as well as a couple of my coaching clients that I just, it's amazing. They set these real big, ambitious, things toward the end of the year. And then right before the first year, they're calling me going, and I mean, it just stuff again. And it's so challenging. So I said, you know what? I gotta come back and talk about this, bumps and bruises and bastards, because that's what gets to us, right? And I say that word respectfully. And you're going to see why I say that today is because there's, it's going to be really fun. So buckle your seatbelts. I got something really great prepared for you. There's really, it's the same thing where we always got to be reminded, right? And for all those that know me and have been on my calls for the last 2 or 3 years, is that I'm all about unlearning, not learning. I'm not here to teach you anything. I'm here to try to help you unlearn. That's the key to success. That's the key to happiness. That's the key to life, is to unlearn. We don't need to know anything. We just need to see. We need to have vision. We need to have wisdom, right? So we think it's all about knowing, doing, instead of seeing and a vision and letting that vision come along and creating. So let's see what prevents that. And I'm gonna give you something that you will have the battles, the bumps, the bruises. But before I do that, put in the chat already this year. Because, someone said, be kind to everyone you meet, for everyone is facing a battle. Either you've just come out of a battle, or you're battling, or you're about ready to enter into a battle. Somebody said, so be kind to everyone, for they all have battles that they are fighting. So what battles already in 2023 or bruises or or bumps or bastards have you encountered in 2023 so far? To put it in the chat. Come on. Bumps, bruises, battles that already 2023. Come on, or speak up. Come on, speak up. Let's get this thing warmed up here. Let's go. Let's go. No one's had any bumps? Relationship battle. Okay, Maria, thank you.
I've got some bumps. I have two under contract, and both of them at the same time are looking at different lenders, and not fun. Not a fun battle.
Not a fun battle.
Working it out. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in this one, okay. Thank you. Relationship battles, Maria, are the toughest because they're the closest to our heart and our emotions. Financial battle, Brianna, thank you for that. We're going to talk about that. Quitting the day job to commit to real estate full time, Adriana, that's definitely a battle all the time. And we're going to help you with that. I promise you, you will walk away from here today equipped to deal with that. The relationship battle, you're going to walk away equipped. The financial battle, you're going to walk away equipped. I promise you. Anybody else? Already 2023. How many of you had resolutions already that have not worked out? Anybody? My first day on the beach, I go to the beach every morning for sunrise. My first day on the beach, January 1st. I mean, all of a sudden, it was like, where'd all these people come from? Usually I'm here by myself. Walking, January 2nd, about 10% less. January the 3rd. I said, wow, it's decreased somewhat. Now I won't go over there. It's about 20% of them are left. I go, what's going on here? So let's see, anybody transition from militaries to civilian? Who's that? Jamel. Yeah, okay, cool. Time management. Okay, Steph, we're definitely going to handle that one because, you don't manage time, you manage priorities. The pressure of success. Who said that? Shalonda, that is success gives us more problems than failure sometimes, but that's pretty cool. Someone says relationship and financial battle, anxiety about the future, anxiety. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're here. Turn your phone off. Everybody turn your phone off, turn it upside down. If you're driving, pull alongside the road and really get in here with me. Okay. All right. So, because let's see who else. Anxiety. Okay. I'm so glad you're all here. Let's get started. I'm going to share my screen and I want to share my screen here. All right, let's get going. We are getting going now. Okay, here we go. Welcome. Win the Battle of the Bees in 2023. Now, I did a thing called the Battle of the Bees, but different bees in August. But win the battles of the bees in 2023. Win the battles, the bumps and bruises and the bastards, because all those will get you burned out. That's what creates burnout, those things right there. What is a bastard? It's an unpleasant or despicable person. The adjective is of a thing no longer in its pure or original form. Now, stick with me. I hope you're not offended with the word bastard, but I'm going to go somewhere with this. It's going to be pretty interesting. And, and they're debased. Okay. So first of all, I have this year I've taken on a sponsor for my real estate resource center. So I have more time to do these things. And I'm so proud of these three young men. All went to FAU together. The last 2-3 years ago, they started Smart Mortgage Solutions. What a phenomenal team. There's not a mortgage they can't get done. I've had people get private loans, commercial loans, via everything you can imagine. So they are phenomenal people. If you do not have a mortgage partner, I'm not here to pitch, this mortgage company, but I'm just saying, if you don't have one, or you're not really sure the one you have is the best one, you ought to look up smartmtge.com and talk to those folks. They are absolutely phenomenal. And they are my sponsor of this, and now become the sponsor of the Mind Body Mastermind and everything else we're going to be doing as the Real Estate Resource Center. So what if all the stuff you're going through, whether it's battles, financial, relationship, the bumps, the bruises, the mortgage loans, the business, it can do two things. One, it can make you bitter, or it can make you better. And I just don't want to throw out these little things. Oh, see, isn't that nice, right? But it's true. You either get bitter or you get better. It's that simple. You either take what has been dealt to you and allow it to make you a better person. And I'm going to tell you how, not just tell you the what. Okay, so stick with me. You know, again, I'll remind you, President Lincoln went into a church setting one time. He come out after the sermon. The reporter asked him, President Lincoln, how'd you like the sermon today? He looked around, he thought, he put his hand up to the cheek as he always did. He says, you know, I didn't like it very much. He said, no, why not? He said, because he told us, he gave us a whole lot of stuff, but he never asked us to go out and do anything great for others. Well, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to ask you to do great things for others, but mainly yourself, because you can't serve other people until you've got it all together yourself. So you allow it to make you a better person, or you allow it to tear you down. The choice does not belong to fate. It belongs to you. What if every relationship battle you're going through, every financial is really, truly, you know, a bunch of bees, but not these bees here, but they could make honey for you, and you could turn those ugly bees into good bees, where, you know, it is, you know, it's helping you. Because if I can help you with this word bastards, there are no bastards. There are not. See, if there's one bastard out there in society, I don't care of what people have done to you. I don't care what they haven't done. I don't care how you feel neglect. I don't care what horrible, horrible atrocity they've committed against you. If one person's a bastard, we're all bastards. Because if there's one thing I'm convinced of life after 69 years of living it in my experiences, is that we are all one, folks. We are one. We are one. There's not all these individuals that we think there is. So it's all bullshit and belief systems and fears and lies that prevent us from turning all these things, especially these bastards and all this other stuff, and causing us to, it prevents us from being bright, beautiful, bountiful, and blissful. Because the bullshit and belief systems that cause us to give in, that cause burnout, is all because of fear, false evidence appearing real, and lies. It's misperceptions. It's just the way we perceive it. Folks, please, if you don't get anything else out of this meeting, you never see things the way they are. You only see things the way you are. Everything you look at is a mirror. It's not a glass. Everything you're looking at is a mirror. And life is giving it to you, saying, look at you, look at yourself, look inside, find out, go deep. So stop believing the fear and the lies. False education appearing real. It prevents you being bright, beautiful, bountiful, and blissful, because that's where the love and truth is. Now, I've played this back in August. I'm going to play it again. It's 8 minutes. Now, I don't know about you, but when I used to go to school, I wasn't a very good student. I don't want to even go there, but the most favorite days of all is when we would have a substitute player. They would play films just to get out of their teaching job. So I'm going to play a film, but not to get out of my teaching job, because this is so powerful. And it really is going to make my point where I'm going to go today.
We've all got two wolves in us, a good one and a bad one. And they both want to eat. The best I can tell, we just got to feed that good one a little more than the other one. Happiness is an emotional response to an outcome. If I win, I will be happy. If I don't, I won't. It's an if-then, cause and effect, quid pro quo standard that we cannot sustain because we immediately raise it every time we attain it. You see, happiness demands a certain outcome. It is result reliant. And I say, if happiness is what you're after, then you're going to be let down frequently, and you're going to be unhappy much of your time. Joy, though, joy is a different thing. It's something else. Joy is not a choice. It's not a response to some result. It's a constant. Joy is the feeling that we have from doing what we are fashioned to do, no matter the outcome. Now, personally, as an actor, I started enjoying my work and literally being more happy when I stopped trying to make the daily labor a means to a certain end. For example, I need this film to be a box office success. You know, I need my performance to be acknowledged. I need the respect of my peers. All those are reasonable aspirations, but the truth is, as soon as the work, the daily making of the movie, the doing of the deed became the reward in itself for me, I got more box office, more accolades and respect than I ever had before. See, joy is always in process. It's under construction. It is in constant approach, alive and well in the doing of what we're fashioned to do and enjoying. Now, the easiest way to dissect success is through gratitude. Giving thanks for that which we do have, for what is working. Appreciating the simple things we sometimes take for granted. We give thanks for these things, and that gratitude reciprocates, creating more to be thankful for. It's really simple, and it works. Now, I'm not saying be in denial of your failures. No, we can learn from them too, but only if we look at them constructively, as a means to reveal what we are good at, what we can get better at, what we do succeed at. All right, life's a verb. We try our best, we don't always do our best. And since we are the architects of our own lives, let's study the habits, the practices, the routines that we have that lead to and feed our success, our joy, our honest pain, our laughter, our earned tears. Let's dissect that and give thanks for those things. And when we do that, guess what happens? We get better at them, and we have more to dissect. It's a get-rich-quick on the internet, richest 15 minutes of fame world that we live in, and we see it every day. But we all want to succeed, right? So the question that we got to ask ourselves is what success is to us, what success is to you. Is it more money? That's fine. I got nothing against money. Maybe it's a healthy family. Maybe it's a happy marriage. Maybe it's to help others, to be famous, to be spiritually sound, to leave the world a little bit better place than you found it. Continue to ask yourself that question. Now, your answer may change over time, and that's fine. But do yourself this favor. Whatever your answer is, don't choose anything that will jeopardize your soul. Prioritize who you are, who you want to be, and don't spend time with anything that antagonizes your character. Don't drink the Kool-Aid, man. It tastes sweet, but you will get cavities tomorrow, all right? Life is not a popularity contest. Be brave, take the hill, but first answer that question, what's my hill? Well, for me, it's a measurement of 5 things. We got fatherhood. We got being a good husband. We got my health, mind, body, and spirit. We got career, and we got friendships. These are what's important to me in my life right now. Because I want to keep all 5 in healthy shape. And I know that if I don't take care of them, if I don't keep up maintenance on them, one of them is going to get weak, man. It's going to dip too deep into the debit section. It's going to go bankrupt. It's going to get sick, die even. So first, we have to define success for ourselves. And then we have to put in the work to maintain it. Take that daily tally. Tend our garden. Keep the things that are important to us in good shape. Defining ourselves by what we are not is the first step that leads us to really knowing who we are. You know that group of friends that you hang out with that they really might not bring out the best in you? You know, they gossip too much, or they're kind of shady. They really aren't going to be there for you in a pinch. Or how about that bar that we keep going to that we always seem to have the worst hangover from? Or that computer screen, right? That computer screen that keeps giving us an excuse not to get out of the house and engage with the world and get some real human interaction. Or how about that food that we keep eating, the stuff that tastes so good going down, it makes us feel like crap the next week, we feel lethargic and we keep putting on weight? Well, those people, those places, those things, stop giving them your time and energy. Just don't go there. I mean, put them down. And when you do this, when you do put them down, when you quit going there, and you quit giving them your time, you inadvertently find yourself spending more time and in more places that are healthy for you, that bring you more joy. Why? Because you just eliminated the who's, the where's, the what's, and the when's that were keeping you from your identity. Like, trust me, too many options, I promise you, too many options will make a tyrant of us all. All right, so get rid of the excess, the wasted time. Decrease your options. If you do this, you will have accidentally, almost innocently, put in front of you what is important to you by process of elimination. Knowing who we are is hard. It's hard. So give yourself a break. Eliminate who you are not first, and you're going to find yourself where you need to be. Make voluntary obligations. I'm talking about the ones that we make with ourselves, with our God, with our own consciousness. I'm talking about the you versus you obligations. We have to have them. Now, again, these are not societal laws and expectations that we acknowledge and endow for anyone other than ourselves. These are faith-based obligations that we make on our own. These are not the lowered insurance rates for a good driving record. You will not be fined or put in jail if you do not gratify these obligations I speak of. No one else governs these but you. They are your secrets with yourself, your own private counsel, personal protocols. And while nobody throws you a party when you abide by them, no one's going to arrest you when you break them either, except yourself. An honest man's pillow is his peace of mind. And when you lay down on that pillow at night, no matter who's in your bed, we all sleep alone. These are your personal Jiminy Crickets, and there are not enough cops in the entire world to police them. It's on you. It's on you. We do our best when our destinations are beyond the measurement, when our reach continually exceeds our grasp, and when we have immortal finish lines. And when we do this, the race is never over. The journey has no port. The adventure never ends because we are always on the way. So do this, and let somebody else come up and tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, you scored. Let them run up and tap you on the shoulder and say, man, you won. Let them come tell you, you can go home now. Let them say, I love you too. Let them say, thank you. Take the lid off the man-made roofs that we put above ourselves and always play like an underdog.
So I hope that is, helpful and it make the point of, I just love what he says. Knowing who you are is hard. It took me 62 years to know who I was. And I had to learn so much of who I am not first. And I'm still learning who I'm not, because that's where the key is. That's where I want to go here, is that discouragement and doubt is all ego generated, not from the soul. So if you have an ounce of burnout, it came from discouragement and doubt, right? In order to love who you are, you cannot hate the experiences that shaped you. Discouragement and doubt that paralyzes, stops in the tracks, hopelessness, no respecters of person. It draws the most powerful down. Keep unemployed, the homeless, the sick. When overcome with discouragement, doubt, become a victim of their own environment. Discouragement and doubt drain their victims of courage, vision, faith, expectation, and the will to make a difference. Successfully neutralize them only enough to feel hopeless and sorry for themselves. That's all it can do. It just gets you the only thing is successful with discouragement is, well, at least it will neutralize you. So you at least get enough energy to feel hopeless and sorry for yourself. So what is bravery all about? Okay, what is bravery all about? And the real person, I didn't do this quote. Thomas Paine did many years ago, so don't tell me it's not politically correct. The real person smiles in trouble, gathers strength from distress, and grows brave by reflection. And what he said is, what is your success? How do you define it, right? How do you define it? And being brave means you create the world you want to live in. I had this song here. By the way you're going to get these slides, I'll tell you in a minute after we're finished. And by the way, this findmotivation.org is someone you want to follow. Always, always, always. This song, Brave, many of you have heard it already. Show me you're brave. This one here is 2 minutes. I want to play it for you because I want you to rise above everything.
The farmer one day found an eaglet's egg, and he picked it up and took it over to the hen house and put it under one of his hens. And when all the eggs were hatched, the little eagle was hatched with all the other little chickens. And of course, immediately the mother hen begins to rear her chicks, as she often does, and the little eagle was treated exactly the same. And as he continued to grow, he assumed he was just a part of the family. He was another chicken among chickens. And so he began to learn the things that all little chickens learned, to go around the barnyard and peck for worms, and then when it came to flying, learned to fly maybe a few feet. First very awkward, and then he got pretty good at flying only a few feet at a time. And this is the way he continued to live, just following the role of all the other chickens. And then one day, when he was much older, he looked up in the sky and he saw a beautiful, majestic bird riding on the winds. And he turned to one of his friends and he said, "Who is that, or what is that?" His friend said, "Oh," he said, that's an eagle. They're birds of the sky." He said, "We're chickens, and we're birds of the ground." After the old eagle heard his friend tell him that was a bird of the sky and he was a bird of the ground, there was a part of him that had been caught in that moment of seeing that bird in the sky that ignited a longing in himself to fly a few feet, to eat worms. The worms had never satisfied his hunger, and the flying never seemed to be enough. And he suddenly realized that he was facing a decision in his life. And that decision really was, do I continue to go on with life as I've always lived it, or do I do whatever it takes to fly like that bird? And so he began to ponder that, and he made a decision. He would rather try to fly like that bird than to simply accept the way he had been living. And so that's the decision he made, to fly. And his life was changed forever.
Let me ask you, are you a bird of the ground? Or are you a bird of the air, of the sky? A bird of the ground or a bird of the sky? And the only thing that holds us back is this head conversation that goes on all the time. And that's what creates either a futile future or powerful presence. So whether it's financial, whether it's relationship, no matter what it is in our lives, we've got to stay in the present moment. We got to stay in the present moment, because that's the only thing that works, because you've got to stay on who you really are. And then I'm going to, this is going to be a lot, but I'm going to give you this slide deck so you have it, because this is a lot of the things we've been doing over the last couple of years. But become obsessed with success, not the kind of success of the most toys, but the most tools. Not the most toys, but the most tools. And realize that whatever you are going through, that the universe, God, life, whatever you want to define it, is providing you opportunities to make a honey shack. That and there's bees all around, but really they're honeybees, even the ones that seem like they're stinging you. Because, you know, and it's not hard work that it takes to fix a relationship, or hard work that takes to fix finances, hard work. It's all about how I'm not creative enough, or I'm not cooperating enough, right? Because you can work even harder and harder and harder and harder and harder. A lot of people say, "Fred, why do you work so hard?" I don't work hard. I'm creating to try to create that life that it seems like I'm called to. And we're all called to a different life. Our spiritual highest calling and our professional highest calling. And those two serve the other. You heard Matt McConaughey say, he says, number one is the father. Number two is the husband. Number three is his mind and body. Number four is his career. And number five is his friends. And so he's about creating all these things in his life. So hard work, God does not honor hard work. He honors co-creation and cooperation. I said a couple of weeks ago, I said, you know what? Life, God, the universe is playing music. You may not like it right now, but pay attention and dance. And just don't accept the dance that you want to come up with all this crazy mind trash that we have. So effort and do more. God does not honor effort in doing. He only honors us in becoming. He honors truth and laws and principles like the law of gravity, the law to give or get. Now live, when I say this, a lot of people go, wait a minute, Fred, you don't give to get. Yes, you do. You give to get a greater capacity. We are here to give, give, give. If we're upset, if we're down, if we're depressed, it's because we're consumed about what we're getting or not getting. When we get consumed about what we're giving or not giving, then that will drive us or draw us out of all that stuff that we go through. So, the law of give to get means you just keep giving no matter what, so you can become a bigger person, no matter how many of the bumps, the bruises, and the bastards that come along. You just keep coming bigger and bigger and bigger, so you can give more. You just keep giving back, right? The laws of a gift economy. That this whole idea that the more that I give and the more gift, the bigger my economy to give more gets. And so it's the end of every feeling. At the end of every feeling are illusions. So once, the things that we feel going through a bad relationship, the things that we feel going through these financial crises, the things that we feel going through these discouragements, and it doesn't seem like things are going right. They're all just feelings. And the only thing you're going to find at the end of those are an illusion. But if you stop and go, wait a minute, what's the principle here? What's the law I'm not following? What's the advice? Am I not getting whatever it is? Because at the end of every principle that you follow, one principle is smart people learn from their mistake, but really wise people learn from the mistakes of others. Go to those who've already made them. So at the end of every principle are promises. And then there's another video link here. This is a 5-minute. I'm just going to have you do that on your own. It's about the the attitude of gratitude that you need. It's a beautiful, beautiful video. And again, I always talk about there's 3 things in our lives: mindset, skill set, and will set. And you don't mix these up. Okay. One serves the other one serves the other. The one serves you to get you out of this one. So this mindset is totally different than the skill set. This mindset it's not. You're not here to get skills today. As I said, you're here to unlearn all the BS in your life, the belief systems and bullshit that holds you back. That's the mindset. It's got to start empty. You've been programmed wrongly, right? Then you got to develop the skills of learning and keep seeking, and you'll find. And then the will, sometimes it's just sheer will. You got to pull yourself up. This is that autopilot test. You want to get your life on autopilot. And when I take this test, sometimes I'm a 6, other times I'm a 3, but I'm always striving to try to get myself to that 10, because 1 is at war, 10 is that you've conquered, not conquered anything or anybody, or you didn't conquer your bad relationship, you didn't conquer your financial problems, you didn't conquer the deals going bad, you conquered yourself, because it's all about self-mastery. And then this is the test, is the power is within you to do it now. Do you have that power? What's your score right now on a scale of 1 to 10 to have that power within you to make that relationship thrive instead of just survive? To get those finances and say, man, I haven't been creative enough, or I made some horrible investment mistakes. It's all my fault. I'm responsible. I am exactly where I am because of me and nobody else. All my prayers are answered. All my prayers are answered. Where are you on that test? A score of 1 to 10. Now people say, well, wait a minute. That doesn't mean your life is all going what some people would call right. It's going right for you on the inside, no matter what's going on the outside. So, when you get this, take this, and this is not strong about only the strong survive. You don't need to be strong to survive, but you need to be strong to survive. All of you are surviving. All of us are surviving. The homeless man that I talk to a lot down in the street, not on one, about a bunch of them, because we have a park that allows them. I love them. They're surviving. They're strong. They're stronger than I am. I couldn't sleep out there in the woods tonight, especially the other night when the temperature dropped down, and I couldn't do that. They're strong. They are strong. I mean, but they're not thriving because of all the BS and bullshit and belief systems in their life that they haven't been able to master themselves. So 100% self-determination is master yourself. And it's not the power, it's not the possessions, it's not the position that you have in life, but it's the power of presence. It's only the dreams like he had, like Matt talked about. We got to get radical in our lives about success, as he said. And we got to become radical practices and conditions, eradicate all existing or potential disease. Okay. Don't stick with the customary. Not a lot of you may not know the name Elizabeth O'Reilly. Elizabeth O'Reilly is one of the most successful real estate people in the country. She is very, very wealthy. Elizabeth Raleigh is with our group, and in just a different group, and it's a multi-millionaire. You should see her post on Facebook yesterday where she was making 2023 radical about eliminating things out of her life, and I could tell stuff is going on in her life. So none of us are exempt from this. So we got to get radical in this. That's what she said yesterday. She didn't use the word radical, but that's what her post was about. Arising from or going to a root or source basic. Get back to the root or the source. You advocate fundamental revolutionary changes. You gotta advocate for fundamental revolutionary changes in a relationship. And you don't force them. Your peace brings them about. And I'm going to get into that in a second. Favoring fundamental change or change at the root cause of the matter pertaining to the basic or intrinsic nature of something. And folks, we got to get radical because this is our lives. This is our life. And when you look at the statistics, oh my gosh, it's crazy. Our statistics are horrible for the human race, but it's all self-imposed. We have enough resources, enough abundance on this earth to feed everybody, to have everyone wealthy. There's enough to go around. But when you read our statistics, it's crazy. For everywhere from health to finances to childhood suicide, it's horrible. We got to get radical. Our income statistics are horrible. And we're in a business that we could do all that. So again, my job is to get you to do a thought reversal system, to unlearn all the stuff that's in your head. The imaginary and illusional stuff. We got to get this, we got to become radical and exchange wisdom for knowledge, right? We've got to get into the right brain and defeat this left brain, this ego. We got to become, got to get rid of this self-parenting stuff that's been put in our head. It's always about the internal, not the external. Vision or provisions or lack of, affirmations and self-talk. And I'm just going to, I'm going to give this to you as a resource because this is all the stuff we've been talking about. And the whole thing today is about soul versus the ego. Again, the soul versus the ego. So many people think we were sent here by God to be holy like him. That's wrong. We're sent here to be holy and help everybody else to become whole. W-H-O-L-E. W-H-O-L-E. We're here to practice mercy, not judgment. This was a Passover and Easter message I did, and I tied the two holidays together, what the history of the Passover was to Easter. Look at this, read this. It's all about this battle, folks. It's all about this battle. Happiness cannot be traveled to, owned, earned, worn, or consumed. Happiness is the spiritual experience of living every minute with love, grace, and gratitude. When those two deals are not getting funded, when that big sale fell through, when you sell that $3 million deal and the seller decides to cheat you out of the commission, you now have to sue, blah, 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 blah. But you still move through every minute with love, grace, and gratitude. And then this whole idea of radical, I repeated it again. And the reason is there's a force against us that we've learned this programming. Do you know there's 92 pages of personality disorders come up with by the medical profession, the psychiatric profession, the psychology profession. And that's not a criticism, folks, but we try to label all this stuff, but it's a soul issue. It's a soul versus the ego issue. Anybody who would read this book, and you don't even have to read it, study the background of this book called Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. It didn't get printed for 82 years because his wife was afraid someone would take his life. They would kill Napoleon Hill, and his life was threatened. Take the whole version of it, about the history of it, with the book. Folks, this is what it's all about. And that devil is your thoughts. It's your inner dark self. That ego. So please get this resource, and I'm going to tell you how to get in a minute. This is all the other resources I'm giving you again to remind you. The Forgiveness Project, you got to go through that. If you take this, I promise you, you will be battle proof, you will be bruise proof, you will be bastard proof, you will be bump proof. It's all here. The 12 principles of attitudinal healing, we've gone through them a lot. The resources on permission, you have a permission, right? I'm giving you the permission. This is also the love finds you when you find it in yourself. That's the only way you're going to discover love. Those of us with relationship issues, I had them. divorce after 40 years, divorced for 7, went back for 2, that failed. Then circumstances changed. We're back again now. And oh my God, I can't believe it. Love has finally found me because I found myself. And we're back until death do we part. And just madly, madly, madly. It's not even a love I could describe, folks, because I found it myself first. I never realized I never had it. It took me 62 years. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. I know this is small, but I'm giving you the resource. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. Somebody said they had a problem with success, right? Dealing with success. It is our light. Our deepest fear is we're more powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are we not to be? You're a child of God. You playing small does not serve the world. This is nothing enlightened. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest a glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it is in every one. And as we let our light shine, we consciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from battles and bumps and bruises and bastards, as we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. I don't care what your religious influence, I don't care what your spiritual philosophy, I don't care what it still makes a beautiful life mantra. There's a story of the master, of Jesus, when his disciples are all trying to get the recognition. Hey, who's going to be the greatest in heaven? And he gathered the children among them. They tried to prevent children coming from him. And he grabbed a child. They put the child on his knee. And he said, I tell you what, unless you become as one of these little children, you'll never see the kingdom of God. And a lot of people think that kingdom is coming from somewhere else. It's out there. It's heaven. It's within us. There's another writing, old scripture. It's in the book of Thomas. It didn't even make it into the Bible. And Jesus' quote is saying, bring forth that which is within you. Bring forth that which is within you, or that which is within you will destroy you. Bring forth that which is within you, or that which is within you will destroy you. What was he talking about? He was talking about the kingdom. He's talking about this love, talking about this joy. Let it come out. Let it come out, because if you keep getting it in and you keep that battle, it destroys us. It destroys us. There are two basic motivating forces, fear and love. We are afraid, we pull back from life. Over here, John Lennon, my buddy. When we are afraid, we pull back from life. When we are in love, we open to all that life has to offer with passion, excitement, and acceptance. We need to learn to love ourselves first in all our glory and our imperfections. If we cannot love ourselves, we cannot fully open to our ability to love others or our potential to create. Folks, please get that in. That's why we get burnout. We don't love ourselves enough. We don't love our potential. We don't love life. We don't love the fact that these things are serving us. Evolution and all hopes for a better world rest in the fearlessness and open-hearted vision of a people who embrace life. Fear or love? Fear or love? What are you running on? These are the 7 C's we talked about many, many times. You can't manage the clock, only priorities. Please master your calendar. That the person that we're talking about, time management. Please go to YouTube today. Look up time blocking, master time blocking. You then own your life. Contacts, use them or lose them. Commitments, a pledge or undertaking. Concerns. Only 8% of the things we worry about, someone said they're financial, anxiety. 8% of the things we worry about come true. In other words, less than 1 in 10 things you stress about is actually worth it. Communications, loving, listening is loving. Communications, concepts, self, how we perceive our behaviors, ability, and unique character. Causes, conversation or conversion. When we're talking in a bad relationship, are we trying to convert them to our way of thinking? Are we really trying to have a conversation? And I actually have another one where I added the word communion, because when you can reach communion, right? And I say that in here because the other C's that you need to have in your life is consideration versus condemnation. Because if you're not considerate, you're condemning. Now you may say, wait a minute, I'm the most considerate person there is. I thought that when I was sitting in front of a counselor's office, when my son, who's now going to be, 49, is 48. Yeah, 48. He's going to be 48 when he was a young man struggling with addictions. And they said, sir, you need to be more empathetic. I looked at her, I almost fell out of my chair. I said, I'm the most empathetic person I ever met. I'm the most considerate person I ever met in my life. She said, sir, no, you're not. You're sympathetic. All these years I've been practicing psychology and teaching it, but I couldn't relate it to my own because I didn't realize I wasn't considering all that he's going through, right? So consideration or condemnation, because if you don't learn to become considerate, you will become a condemner. You will not even realize you're condemning your own situation, your own relationships, your own finances, because we don't become creators when we're in this mode. And you've got to practice these things. This is what this is in the professional realm of examination, the 6 W's they're called, whose answers are consideration, basic, and information gathering. Please consume your life with always asking, saying who, not who is at fault, but who is going to bring the solution into this relationship? Who else can we talk to? What can we do about it? What have we not done? When are we going to change this? Whatever. Where should we go to get out of our normal environment? Let's do something drastic. I have people taking a course this week, 2 different people, the real courses. Watch what happens to their life. And then the why. Not the why you haunt yourself and why me, but the why not me. I see all the other people having relationships. Why not me? I was always consumed with that, even after my divorce. During my marriage, when I was wondering why was I married? Why not me? Why can't I have a dynamic relationship? Who knew where life was going to take me? But I always sought the truth. So the truth found me. The truth found me. How? These are the words you got to answer, because it's all about communion, not communication. Now, I know this is an awful lot. We're not going through this. This is for your reference. Trading your thoughts about God and creation, not the God that I serve, not the God that, the guy down the street serve, but your God. If you rather put universe in there, then put that in there and exchange them for those that match his attributes and life's divine intelligence and divine integrity. And then please go through here, read to someone, the Someday Owl, these songs, all about this dreaming that we have. And yet this is what we end up with. There is an island fantasy called Someday Owl. I'll never see. Recession stops, inflation ceases, my mortgage is paid and my pay increases. Someday where problems end, every piece of mail is from a friend. The children are sweet and already grown, where all the other countries can go it alone. We all retire at 41, playing backgammon in the island sun. Happiness cannot be sought. It can't be owned. It can't be bought. It is where you are right here, right now, pushing the pencil or pushing the plow. Life's most important revelation is that happiness is the journey, not the destination. It's knocking on doors and making your calls. It's getting back up when you've had all your falls. It's going to school and standing in line. It's tasting defeat and tasting the wine. I've been trudging through life going mile after mile, but I'll never set foot on Someday Owl. I've paid all my dues and put in my time, and out of nowhere, another Mount Everest to climb? I've decided today to make it my vow to take Someday Owl and make it now. Folks, this is so true. I can't tell you. I think I have one person on the call older than I am, Jacobo's father. Yeah, I think so. Anyway, I can't believe all these Mount Everests that God keeps giving me, life keeps giving me, universe keeps giving me. And you know what? I'll tell you, it's sometimes I groan and I moan, but I now see that the beauty of these Mount Everests that I've climbed. So once I learned 7 years ago to throw away my Someday Owls and make them now, miracles happen. Miracles, I mean miracles. So the answer is, this here habit. I'm gonna give you this one here quickly. You may know me. I'm your constant companion. I'm your greatest helper. I'm your heaviest burden. I will push you onward or drag you down to failure. I am at your command. Half the task you do might as well be turned over to me. I'm able to do them quickly. I'm able to do them the same every time. If that's what you want, I'm easily managed. All you've got to do is be firm with me. Show me exactly how you want it done. After a few lessons, I'll do it automatically. I am the servant of all great men and women, of course. But I am the servant of all the failures as well, the homeless people down the street in the park. I've made all the winners who have ever lived, and I've made all the losers too. But I work with all the precisions of a marvelous computer, with the intelligence of a human being. You may run me for profit, or you may run me to ruin. It makes no difference to me. Take me, be easy with me, and I will destroy you. Be firm with me, and I'll put the world at your feet. Who am I? I am habit. Folks, I had the privilege of serving with Dennis Waitley on his staff, and we taught a thing called the Gold Mine. What a beautiful individual. Now he's 84 years old, 85 years old. Look him up, Dr. Dennis Waitley. What a wonderful soul. If we do not conquer ourselves, we will be conquered by ourselves. Napoleon Hill, the first and greatest victory is to conquer ourselves. Conquer yourself is all the things. It's to be conquered by yourself is of all things most shameful and vile. And when you feel discouraged, you're being conquered by yourself, that ego. It's bitter. It's better to conquer yourself than to win 1,000 battles. See, you don't need to win the battles. Just conquer yourself, and the victory is yours. It cannot be taken from you, not by the angels or by the demons, heaven or hell, or the ego. If you're not working on yourself, you're working against yourself. Heart coherence. Here's a lot more stuff for you. This is where I want to end here quickly. Just a reminder where the ego comes from, how we got it, why we need to defeat it. Because we came here with a soul full of love, forgiveness, and atonement. We came here as spiritual beings to have a human experience. We turned out to be human beings having a spiritual experience. This is the way we got programmed. Look. Don't come here with all that love and happiness, little kid. You know, you got to share. You got and all the rules and all the other stuff started showing up. And then we attended church and they told us we were sinners and So, but we got here full of love. We came from love, going back to love. We were full with a soul, mind, will, and emotions that would just make our lives beautiful. And then we would get to enjoy this little human experience we had here. But what did we get taught? We got programmed with this ego, fear, judgment, and condemnation. Folks, you may think, well, no, I don't have judgment against anybody. Oh yeah. Just monitor yourself. You have a judgment against that relationship that you're in that's going tough because you have already judged that it's more the other person than you. That's just our natural programming. So how do we get rid of that? We got to get this in. We got to run our lives on our mind, the spirit mind, not the ego mind. Then to let that will follow, mindset, will set, skills, emotional intelligence, emotions. Everyone says, well, I can't help it. It's the way I feel. Let him express the way he feels. You ought to let her. Listen, I agree. We got to go through emotions. We got to, but they can't be up here. They're at the end. They got to be controlled. Emotional intelligence. And folks, this is that magic chart. If you don't get this and print it out and post it everywhere and practice this, and every time you have a little fear, you're in the ego. Anytime you feel like you've got to compete against somebody, you're in the ego. When you have judgments going on, you're in the ego. If you feel like you need to do more and perform more, you're in the ego instead of becoming more, right? It's not about doing, it's about being. I got to be more. I'm not big enough yet. I'm not big enough. I'm not giving enough. If I'm into my person, oh man, I got to perform. I don't get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, 1:30 in the morning and write some of the creative stuff I write because I want to perform. I come up because I just know I'm not enough yet as a person. I'm not giving enough because I'm just consumed with this giving because that fills my soul. It's all about the internal. That's where we become ageless. Over here is where we get sick and where age affects us with the external. This is all about the outside. It's all about the inside. Folks, learn to destroy that ego. And the way you're going to get this slide deck is very simple. Very simple. I make it real easy. Real easy. You're going to go to YouTube. You're going to go to Facebook, Mind Body Mastermind, and you're just going to give a comment. And you're going to say, hey, listen, thanks for the meeting this morning. That was fabulous. Please send me the resources presented in the meeting today, and I will make sure you get those. Everyone that was on last week, you got them, right? And look at some of the things are on here. Look at this guy. He's going to in 1 year what he did. And he talks about his mindset, right? It says a lot of great resources. And this is only resources. Now, some of you send me some posts about real estate and stuff to post. This is only about mind, body, and soul. This is all about the mind, body, the mindset, will set, and skill set. And every now and then I'll post something personal because of the trying to help people with their mindset and their crisis in their life. So please get on here, Mind Body Mastermind. Soon as you do, just say, hey, thanks for the meeting this morning, Fred. I really appreciate it. Please send me that the resources that you discussed today. Okay. So with that, let's do some ahas. Let's do some takeaways. Chris, how you feel, my friend?
I'm doing good. I think I figured out my burnout of like a couple weeks ago. It was a lot of I had been doing conference after conference after conference, and it was getting towards the holidays. It was showing love to clients. It was working on deal, like the $1.75 million general, like that's crap. Like you can do more, like you're worthless. So I started like feeding everybody else love and not watering my own garden. So we've since worked on some stuff, got harder into the gym, planned 2 vacations instead of 1, and then just kind of rolling with it until we get to March.
Unbelievable. You would think that I talked to her and coached her, because she said exactly what I wanted her to say. and it's what we all do, right? We go in, we perform, because it gives us that, hey, I'll now feel better about myself and I am good enough. You used the word good enough. It's that disease we've been programmed with. That's that ego. Folks, as soon as you get that, you're not in a creative state. You're in a performance state. And then you're saying, well, that's what makes me, I thought that's what I need. No, you need to be in a creative state. If the money flows, it flows. If it's not flowing, I've been in such a creative state for the last 3 years, and the money has gone the opposite direction. I'm going, well, but it's still serving me, because it's making me even create more and getting more creative. So we're here to learn and to be, you've just read it all. I mean, those resources that are on that slide deck, please, Facebook, Fred DeFalco, Mind Body Mastermind. And I'm going to post that in there for you. I'm going to send it to you. And the reason I'm doing that instead of just posting it like I used to is because I want to bring people into this community to share and just make such a powerful community where we're not battling bumps and bruises and bastards all the time. Because again, if there's any bastards out there, that means I'm a bastard. If anyone else is, I am too, because we're all connected. We're all connected. I know philosophically we say, well, wait a minute. I had a sister-in-law the other day. She kept me on the phone. She says, wait a minute. There's people that are evil, Fred. And I said, I understand what you're saying, but it's only they're calling for love. They don't get it yet. They don't need to be saved. They just don't know they're saved. So anyway, thank you, Chris, for being bombed. I love that post. Look up Elizabeth Raleigh. Chris, any women on here, follow Elizabeth Raleigh. She is a gem. Her post reminds me of what you said. And I just saw that last night, which was interesting in support of this meeting. Okay. So, all right, let's go. Takeaways here just quickly. Consideration versus condemnation. Didn't realize I was condemning, because I thought to be most empathetic person, feelings equals illusions. You know what, Maria, that's so true. And a lot of times we mix sympathy with empathy. Yeah, just go neutral with that relationship and just take a breath and try to go into communion. And if there's ever anger is threatened value. If you're feeling angry, your value is threatened. You got to say, I'm not feeling valuable right now, because your spouse or your loved one or your significant other or partner, whatever it is, it could be business relationship. If they're not valuing you, no matter what you say is not going to mean anything. So what you got to say, I'm really feeling so unvalued right now, and I don't know whether it's me or you, but I just got to figure this out, because that you don't need more communication, you need communion. And when you go quiet, the people will listen more. Fasting this time of year is very helpful to getting your mind focused. Amen. Who is that? Maya. I love fasting. Oh my gosh, I love it. I just, a couple times, 2 or 3 times a month. I love it. I love it. She's right, folks. Look up fasting, how healthy that is for your mindset, will set, and body. I'm not able to leave a comment, just like last time when Cher Ross was on. I'm getting a message that commenting has been turned off. Natasha says commenting's been turned off, Tiff. Comment where? Oh, you mean in the Mind Body Mastermind Facebook, Natasha, or here? Because yours just posted here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The comments are turned off, right? Because we got some people that are not, really nice people yet. They don't have enough love in their life. So I turned the commenting off. Oh no, you mean a general comment about the meeting?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so glad you brought that up. Go to the meeting the video, the preview of the meeting. And if you go here, look, and comment on that. I'm so glad you clarified that. Yeah, I had to turn it, unfortunately I had to turn it off. Let me show you just quickly. When you come here, you scroll down to I'm so glad you brought that up. You're going to come down here, right here, and you're going to comment here. So try to put a comment right here.
Okay, we'll do that.
Yeah, let me know quickly because I want to make sure that everyone else. If not, then you just message me there. But let me know that should not be turned off. Just a post should be turned off.
Okay,
Make sense?
makes
Okay,
sense.
cool. Let's see.
Yeah.
Natasha, Michael Lynch, preach. I am the worst at conquering self. Life beats on you. Amen, Michael. Watch out for those battles, those bruises, those bastards, right? But again, those bastards are delusional, right? You got to start seeing them as the bees, but they're honeybees. That's my point today. I hope I'm making that point, Michael. So glad you brought that up because what I'm trying to get to you, there are really no bastards. It's the way we see them. It's the way we see them. The guy that's just making me sue him for my commission is I can say, but I see him as a honeybee. He's making me better, right? I mean, he's making me better. My favorite poem piece. Which one was your favorite, Jamel? Which poem? The Habit.
Marianne Williamson.
Oh yeah,
You were
yeah,
reading it this
yeah,
morning.
yeah,
I love that poem. Yeah.
yeah, that's a great one. Smart Mortgage is getting 1.5 billion loan done. Oh, Iman, fantastic. Yeah, let me tell you something, guys. And this is not, of course, if you have a favorite mortgage person, you stick with them. But my guys at Smart Mortgage is unbelievable. They've done so many magical things for my group so far. Okay, anxiety about the future. Thaisa, where are you? Thaisa. There she is. How you feeling? I'm enjoying.
I'm good. I mean, it's a lot to process. Everything you say, it's like, oh, I've heard this before. I know this. I've heard this, but
yeah, definitely print out though. What you need to do is purposefully the ego and the soul chart, because that helps relationships and finances in your own life. Please print that out and put it up on your mirror. If I wouldn't want anybody to visit my bathroom. My bathroom is a display of my drawings of my life. It's scripture verses. It's these charts. It's these poems. It's because I know if I don't feed that brain, like Matt said, right? We have the two wolves inside of us, the ego and the soul. If you don't feed your soul, I'm telling you, you will be a victim. Your relationships don't work. Your life doesn't work. And you will be a statistic. You will be a statistic. Abrams, work versus raising baby and impending lower reserves than I enjoy. What's that mean? Rob, where are you? Work versus raising baby. Did they have to get off? Not sure what he means by that. Pressure of success. Shalonda, I'm so glad you brought that up. Because a lot of times success creates more pressure than we realize. But if it's real success, because success is what you define it to be, you might be achieving success that others told you had to achieve, right? Like Chris was just saying, she wasn't performing enough, even though she got a $1,750,000 commercial deal in 8 days after joining the group. Yet she said, that's not enough, right? So that mix up programming she had, right? So you don't even get to enjoy the success you had. You need to celebrate little wins, right, Chris? You need to celebrate the wins. But by the way, you're talking
I'm
to
so terrible at celebrating the wins. Like, I'm like, okay, cool, but you need to do better tomorrow.
What happened yesterday?
With our deal with the kayak shack, all the amount of times that wasn't gonna happen, or they're divorced and can't get them along, and I'm burnt out, but I'm still showing up, showing her love, sending her gifts, and finally we got our $4 million listing signed.
Amen. Public pricing, folks. You're going to be hearing a lot about that one.
Now we take a vacation.
Divorce. Well, not yet. Only when it closes. I need you around for that one. So anyway, folks, listen, I'm so glad you joined. Anybody else, raise your hand, throw it in a comment, just shout out. Any shout outs?
Thank you, Fred. I did just give a friend the recommendation, Outwitting the Devil. That book is amazing. I need to reread it and kind of study over it chapter per chapter. It has been life-changing. And I just appreciate you taking your time and helping us reprogram our brain. It has been helping immensely. And I just want to personally thank you so much.
You're welcome. And Aletha, have you listened to the 5-hour with the history of Outwitting the Devil and how he almost got killed?
No, I have not.
It's on that slide deck. I gave you the 5.5-hour version where she gives the background and the history of Napoleon Hill and how he almost lost his life.
I will definitely.
By the way, do you know he used to be involved in Success Magazine, which our brokerage now owns, eXp Real. Not a brokerage. By the way, we're not a brokerage, folks. So please understand that we're not a brokerage. We're the Airbnb. You don't have a brokerage. you use the Airbnb system for your business. If you're not self-branded and you're not branding yourself, then please start reading on self-branding, because Airbnb doesn't tell you what color to paint your house, doesn't tell you how to act, doesn't tell you what to do. They just provide you the beautiful, beautiful tools, and that's what we have the privilege of doing, right? So anyway, brand yourself. That's important. But Outwitting the Devil, Success Magazine, by the way, I love Success Industries. I've been a part of that from all my career. But Outwitting the Devil, please listen to that 5.5 hour, Aletha. You're going to just absolutely love it. It's all the history of Napoleon Hill and why they were going to kill him. Interesting. Okay. Anybody else? Shout outs. All right. Okay, Maria, thank you. And okay. How do you say that? Zashi? How do you say that? Hernandez.
Sashi.
Okay. Yeah. Jacopo will tell you I'm the worst. Jacopo will tell you I'm the worst at pronouncing names. Go ahead.
No one gets my name right. It's okay.
So that's what you needed. Tell us a little bit more about that.
I've just been feeling a little down lately. It's been a tough year that I just went through. So I wanted to start 2023 on a different mindset. And this call just really set me there. So I have to keep reading up on this, and I have to start posting them all over my bathroom, because I can't let myself get back down.
Feed the soul, starve the ego. Feed the soul,
yes.
Starve the ego. That's my motto. And then Sashi, where are you? Where are you geographically? What state?
I'm here in Orlando, Florida.
Oh, you're in Orlando. Okay, cool. Well, anyway, good. Glad you were on. And by the way, you just said I had what kind of year?
I said I had a really tough, bad year. Something like that. It's been a rough one.
Yeah. And I'm glad you said that, because that's what we say. I say, we all do that. Eliminate those words in your life.
Yeah.
Just say, I had a year that really served me well because I learned so much. How does that feel when you said I had a really tough year? Now think about when you said that, how you felt when you said it, versus if you would have just rephrase it and say, I had a really interesting year. I've learned an awful lot. Can you sense the feeling and the empowerment of that?
You know what? You're so right, because I teach this to my children on a daily basis, but I don't practice it myself. You are so very right about that. Yes. Yeah.
And it's the mini course for life, right? That I promote, and you'll see it all throughout my writings and stuff. In the 12 principles of attitudinal healing, which that is all based on. One of the things it says, change your words and change your life. And there's nothing wrong with using the word challenging. There's nothing wrong saying, I had a really challenging year, and boy, I am going to really learn from that. So always finish it up with a positive, right? Always finish up with a positive. For instance, I'm going through some real, personal things where I have real, again, we're talking about relationships, real close family members and stuff, with a lot of confusion, a lot of misunderstanding, a lot of misperception. And man, if I would take it for anyone's rules, they would label so many people bastards. They would label them cruel. They would label them all kind of things. But with my words, I go, wow, where did that belief system come from? Now, a number of these are my children. So where did that belief system come from? It came from me. At one point, I had sent a text. I said, I cursed the man that raised you and passed those belief systems. So not curse me, I said, I curse the belief systems, whoever, that the man whoever raised you or something. So anyway, yeah, so change your words. So I'm so glad you're on today. And every year is a great year. If you don't believe that, try missing one of them. Right? Every year is a great year. Just like every day.
That's actually true. Yes. Thank you so much, Fred. You're right.
Welcome.
I need to change my words.
That's it. Cool. All right, bro. Thank you so much. Mind Body Mastermind Facebook. I'll send you the slide deck. Natasha, were you able to comment on the post of the preview?
No.
Anybody? No?
Still not able to.
Okay. Then
but I'm not able to.
Okay. I'll tell you what we're going to do then. We're going to put it in. Oh, that was. I was told that was not the that was. Okay. Let me just do this quickly. Tiffany, do we have the record of everybody on the call? Well, we'll put it. You know what? We'll put it in Workplace. If you're not with EXP, okay. If you're not with EXP. And you are invited by a guest or you're a guest, just inbox whoever invited you or whatever and say, hey, please get me here. And I'm also going to put the PDF here in the slide for those that are left. Some of you have already gone. So that's interesting. I was told I've got to go fix that. Oh, what a disaster. Join the group, okay? Or send me a message in there, okay? And then I just posted the PDF here for those that are left. And then we'll post it also, Tiff, in Workplace, okay? And then please join the group though, Mind Body Mastermind, and then send me a message. I will get the message. Inbox me there. All right, folks. Thank you so much. Tiff, your turn.